Good, folks. So it's been a long day. I think we've heard a lot of good speakers, and I think one of the big things that we need to take from what we just heard from David, namely David John and Traven Shore, is about truth. I want to give another shout out to my young men in the front from Bard College, I think, who represent that truth that we're so desperately talking about. I also want to bring another young man that's traveled, got up at 3 o'clock this morning to hop on a train from Maine to come down here and speak with us. I met this young man in Professor Ogletree's class just this week, and I was so impressed with him, I asked him to come speak. His name is Mohamed Nur. I met him through Seeds of Peace. He is a junior currently. He's been his class president for the last 3 years. He's a junior in high school. He started the Model UN at his school. He also sits on his school board. But I think he represents that truth that we are looking for, and that truth that needs to be spoken about our young men. I want to bring him up right now, put our hands together, and welcome Mohamed Nur.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, that's really good. Okay, I have your attention. So, my name is Mohamed Nur, and I'm a junior at Deering High School in Portland, Maine. Like he said, I had to get up at 3 in the morning because this is a really great thing that got put on today. So I'm just really honored to be here, just to be in a room full of determined and distinguished leaders who are really committed to making a positive change in their communities. So I'm just really humbled and honored to be here today. Before I introduce our panel, I just want to share a few things with you guys, if that's all right. From an early age for me, my mother has instilled into me the value of education. She has always said time and time again that education is the key to success, and that knowledge is the most important tool to create change. Now, I'm so fortunate that my mother instilled that value of education into me so early on and really created a stable home environment for me. But sadly, some of my friends weren't so lucky. In particular, some of my black friends. Sadly, a good portion of the friends I grew up with are either in jail, they either left the city or the state, or a few are even dead. So I'm just so sick of this cloud of ignorance that we as a society create to conceal the problems that young black men face every day. I'm sick of it. How many more young black men have to be in jail for our society to realize that a segment of the population is struggling? How many more Trayvon Martins is it going to take for America to get up and do something? I'm not going to wait. And for you guys who are here today, I think you're not going to wait either. And this conference, Repairing the Breach, is just a platform to create that change, to save our young black men. And the only way to change the societal, systemic, and economic problems that young black men face, in my opinion, is through education. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said that the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of a true education. And I strongly believe that a true education can be the salvation to the problems that young black men and just our country can solve those issues. So I have something to ask of all of you here today. All the educators, all the lawyers, all the practitioners, all the philanthropists. What I ask you to do is to keep doing the great work that you're doing. And also when you go back to your respective communities, to help young black men and just help young people in general get a quality education, because that transformative change that you help create not only allows these men to prosper, but allows the whole country to prosper. For when one of us succeeds, we all succeed. Now, with the introductions. Now I would like to introduce our distinguished panel. First, Dr. Austin, who spoke earlier this morning and was fantastic, so let's give him a round of applause. Second, Mr. Sean Dove, who was just recently, who still hasn't got up from his seat, I believe. And last but not least, Professor Charles Ogilvie. He is a professor at the Harvard Law School and founding and executive director for the Charles Hamilton Houston Institute for Race and Justice. Professor Ogilvie has also authored several important books on race and justice. The most recent one called Life Without Parole, America's New Death Penalty. So join me in welcoming our distinguished panel.